Check the email during the bottom of the hour break. How do you know, Mr. Limbaugh, these experts being used by the Associated Press are always wrong? I read the AP reports. Here, let me give you just an example. From the AP story headlined by "Steady Job Gains to Sustain U.S. Recovery." This is the story that predicts that the unemployment rate's going to be 7.9% by Election Day. The story mentions that no president has ever been elected with an unemployment rate of 8% or above. And they say that they've got their survey here of a bunch of economists, 32 leading economists who foresee a gradually brighter jobs picture despite higher gas prices, Europe's debt crisis, and a weak housing market. Despite all that, they see a gradually brighter jobs picture. It's a miracle. It's wonderful. Despite worsening economic circumstances, unemployment's going to tick. And how do they know this is going to happen? Because the game is rigged. Here, this is classic. Because they're getting sloppy. The AP is getting so scared they're getting sloppy. This article cites one of the leading experts, one of the leading economists, an economist by the name of Philip Swagel from the University of Maryland, who says in the story, quote, "Businesses are finally confident enough to hire and invest." Now, we just had a call yesterday from a woman who just got laid off at a construction company, and a number of other people have called here who have said the businesses for which they work or the businesses they own are not hiring and are not making capital investments because they don't know what the future holds. They're worried about Obama being reelected. They're worried about what's going to happen to the tax bill that they have. They are holding on to their capital, their money. They're not spending it. They're not hiring people. This is just, there's no evidence for this claim from this professor. Businesses are finally confident enough to hire and invest. We're getting pure propaganda in the media. None of it's believable. And I just want to remind you of it every day, because it's an onslaught. We're surrounded by it. It's easy to succumb to it. But 10 paragraphs later, after Mr. Swagel says, Professor Swagel, excuse me, after he says businesses are finally confident enough to hire and invest, 10 paragraphs later, the same Professor Swagel is quoted as saying, there's still a ton of uncertainty about the future of tax and regulatory policy. Business that might be tempted to expand say, I don't know what my taxes will be in 3 years. Can I read these two quotes back to back without putting 10 paragraphs between them? Here is one of the 32 experts that the AP found to predict the unemployment rate will be below 8% on Election Day. Philip Swagel, University of Maryland. Businesses are finally confident enough to hire and invest, but there's still a ton of uncertainty about the future of tax and regulatory policy. Businesses that might be tempted to expand say, I don't know what my taxes will be in 3 years. This is hilarious. The guy just cancels himself out. But you don't know that if you don't read 10 paragraphs, not sentences, but 10 paragraphs. So again, it's just an example of what is an ongoing media smother job being performed on this whole country. We're literally being smothered with this propaganda.